Greetings, amazing, wonderful women. I am so excited to be here. My name is Jen Green, for those of you that don't know me. A lot of you do know me. And I am so excited to be live tonight to introduce the emotional life of the female brain. And I want to talk tonight about a little about who I am, how I started doing what I do, and how emotional life of the female brain sort of came to be, and then what it is and how you join. So, like I said, my name is Coach Jen. I am a brain coach. So basically I have multiple degrees. I have a degree in neuropsychology and a degree in communication and a degree in business. And from a very early age, I was always fascinated with human psychology and the brain and just the way people act and why they do what they do. So that human sort of behavior. I've always been fascinated with that. When I was in high school, I actually started reading something called neurolinguistic programming. It's basically how the brain talks to itself. And I was so fascinated with how all that works. And I took psychology classes and I read books and I just really was excited about that. And when I went off to college, I actually studied business. But throughout that time, I actually studied a lot about human dynamics and group dynamics and how culture is created in companies. And then I ended up working for several years in the insurance industry. But everything I've always kind of done in my life has been focused on helping people, and especially women. And so I've really always been fascinated. And then in my late 30s, I actually went back to college. I went to graduate school and got 2 master's degrees and started Sphere Education, which is what I do now. I really like to help people. And so I'm actually a brain coach. I don't do therapy. What I do is really coaching sessions. I'm really into helping people understand why they do what they do, why they think what they think, and then how they can take that knowledge and change their own lives. Well, so it leads me to why emotional life of the female brain and what it is. But how did we get here? Okay, let's be honest, the last 9 months of our lives have been crazy with the pandemic. But it has had a really difficult time, and it's actually really more impactful for women because as women, we have sort of a different structure in our brain and in our social structures that really require us to interact with other women. Because, there's nothing that we like better than sitting around a cup of coffee or, okay, let's be honest, a happy hour, and having a glass of wine with our girlfriends and talking about our days and our lives and those things that matter to us. And with this pandemic, we don't have that. I know a lot of women, I know some of my sorority sisters and I will, get on a Zoom call, but it's not quite the same, but it does actually help us. So, like I said, I've always really liked helping people, and I've always been fascinated with the brain. And so when I started coaching, I loved it. I was so excited to do this one-on-one work with people. But what I noticed is I really wanted to get the information and the things that I know, I wanted to get it out there. And if you've ever sat down with me and asked me a question or two about the brain, I get really excited and I can talk about it for hours and hours on end, which a lot of times is why people reach out to me and they want to go get coffee or, have a glass of wine, is they have these questions, but they don't really want to have a coaching session, or they don't really want that one-on-one. They just want to ask a bunch of questions, or they're just hungry for the knowledge. And so that's actually part of what the reason that we've kind of come to the emotional life of the female brain. And as I was learning and talking to my clients and all of my friends, I realized that I love to talk about this stuff. And so I'm really excited. And so what I've decided to do is put together sort of a website and a community for women. So that's actually what it is. It is a community website for women. But what we're going to do is we're going to educate, equip, and empower women to lead the life that you want to lead. And this is kind of how it works. It is a website. You log in. It's a subscription service. And once a week, every week, we're going to cover a new topic. And then what we're going to do is there are going to be a couple of videos of some interesting information. I'm going to talk a little bit about like psychology, biology, neurology, sociology, all very specifically designed around women and how our lives work. And then what we're going to do is we're going to have the opportunity 5 days a week to journal. You're going to have some journal prompts that you can do. You're also going to have some discussion questions, which is really where the community piece comes in. You guys are going to have the opportunity to go off of guided discussion questions and share your insights and the things that you know and the things that you're thinking about with other community members. And I'm really excited because I think it's just a great way to start to share with each other. And so I've tried to design it so that this isn't just one more thing that you're going to do. This is really more of how to fit it into your life based on what you want. And like I said, so it's going to be one topic once a week. So, one topic, 1 week we might cover guilt, and we'll talk about the emotion, where it comes from and all that kind of stuff. Or, we might talk about habits. We are going to talk about habits. We're going to actually talk about habits in January because that's going to be the big thing that we're all interested in. So we're going to talk about these things, and it's going to give you an opportunity again to watch some videos, get some education. And then if you want to journal, great. If you just want to use the journal prompts to think about things, you can watch, or you can actually listen to the videos in your car. You'll be able to, journal if you want to, or like I said, just use it as a way to think about the way that you think about those things. And really what I'm trying to do is to challenge a lot of self-discovery and self-growth in the women that are part of our community. And so what we're going to do is engage on a journey together. And I'm really excited, and I hope you guys are too. The way that this will sort of work is from today. The registration for Emotional Life of the Female Brain opens today, and it will not close, but we will actually kick off next Sunday. And what you're going to get is there'll be a video welcoming you. But this upcoming week, we're going to do some really fun stuff. I have some videos for people as they sign up on just some random interesting information about women and the brain. And then we're going to start next week. We're going to start on Sunday. And the first sort of 4 weeks, we're going to talk about our stories. We're going to talk about our stories as women. So much of who we are and what we sort of define ourselves as comes from what we do and our family. But we are incredibly complex and fascinating creatures, and there's so much more of us than what we do. If we're a mom or a friend, there's so much to us. And so a lot of what we're going to talk about the first couple of weeks in this thing and sort of wrap up 2020 is we're going to talk about our stories. We're going to talk about our struggles with the pandemic, and how the pandemic has changed our stories. We're going to talk about what we share, what we're all really willing to share with other people. We're also going to talk about what we don't share and why we don't share it. We're going to talk about the health benefits of sharing our stories, understanding our stories, and then we're going to really start to dig into who we are and what our story actually is. So I know some of you have been kind of wondering and asking me about this, and it's not, you've asked a little bit about like what it's going to cost. It's $5 a month. And you can go month to month. You can sign up for an entire year, which is $60. And if you do that, you get a free journal. So that's kind of how that works. But I'm really hoping, and kind of what I'm really looking for to get from this, is truly a community of women who are all like-minded in the fact that they really want to embark on a journey of self-growth and self-discovery with other like-minded women. And we're going to do a lot of really cool things. And in 2021, we're going to actually start virtual coffee talks and happy hours where you'll have the opportunity to actually be virtually in sort of a group of women where you'll have the opportunity to talk about that week's topic. Or you'll have the opportunity to share stories or just meet other people. We'll be doing some networking with other women so you guys can find other like-minded women and start to grow your tribe. Now, the one thing I do need to say is, as women, we need each other. We really do. And my big hope with this is that we learn from each other and we grow with each other. All of our journeys are completely different, but I'm hoping that with the educational pieces and the journal pieces and the discussion pieces, that we'll be able to find this great opportunity for women to really connect with each other who are on a similar journey, but in their own way. So that's kind of it. I am so excited. To be honest, I'm actually really nervous about how this is all going to work, and I was really nervous about being live. But I am so excited, and I truly hope that you join us. And again, you can join us tonight or anytime this week. Like I said, we're going to do some giveaways and some freebies this week. But then we're going to really kick off and sort of end our very bizarre 2020 with understanding and telling our stories. So that'll help kick us off into 2021 in a really cool way. And then just kind of give you guys some teasers about what we're going to talk about in 2021 is we are going to start with habits, those pesky habits with our New Year's resolutions and why it's so hard to keep going and why we promise ourselves we're going to go to the gym and then, 6, 7, 8 days into it, we're not at the gym anymore. So we're going to talk about those things. We're also going to explore in 2020. We're going to talk about emotion and why we feel the way we do. We're going to talk about our belief systems, and we're going to talk about friends and how we make friends. So it's going to be a really exciting things. We're also probably going to talk about spouses, significant others, all those kinds of things that are really part of the core of who we are as women. And so I really hope that you guys join me on this journey. Thank you and have a great night. We'll see you soon.